It's like Zoom has us live. Let's see if we are live on YouTube. Yes. Okay. We are. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to, well, if you're watching this live, you're seeing it on New Light Streaming Love. If you're watching the replay, you're watching it on Sassy Sia Sheila, possibly. You could be watching it on New Light Streaming Love. It just dawned on me you could watch the replay on New Light Streaming Love as well. Okay, so that was a little bit of a goofy good morning. I hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. I had a very interesting weekend. I did not do any live streams. I did do a reading on Friday because I felt compelled to as I was connecting with Elena, and you will meet Elena maybe not this week, but sometime soon while I was supporting her. Oh, wow. This card came out. I believe it was one day last week. You will meet her as I was supporting her during a ritual that, well, it wasn't a ritual. She's going to explain what it was she was doing. But I've explained before that a week ago, well, it will be 2 weeks ago this Wednesday, I did a reading here for you guys and myself in which a particular card came out about ancestor fire, and it was all about tribal fire. And I was blown away to then later on that day meet with Elena. She is the founder of our Wise Woman Circle here locally. Hello, Vanessa. So glad you could join. Only to find that she was going to be taking part in a fire dance. And so we've done a bit of an interesting, I'm going to call it an experiment in many ways, because I absolutely feel as though I were connected to her. She asked me to hold space for her, and I went the extra mile. And I had quite the experience and felt compelled to do a reading for myself. And I did record it. I don't know that I will share that. It ended up being quite a long reading. And it was very interesting what all took place during that reading. Okay, so Land, Mountain, Sun came out. This is the deck that I'm referring to, that card came out. Anyway, she's going to come and explain what it was that she did and how her experience of it and the transformations that she feels she has gained from it. So she's going to come and share that with all of us, probably sometime next week. So you can look forward to that. I am also meeting today with a local young man whom I met at the Holistic Fair here locally. We're going to be discussing his coming to have a conscious conversation with me about what he does and how he started doing that. He is also a channeler. Hey, you, Astro Gardens. It's so good to see you. Okay, so this is going to sound really cool, crazy, Andrew, but I actually sent you a telepathic message this morning. So the fact that you're here is very interesting, because I just learned that there's some points, and Black Moon Lilith, there's something that's active in my chart, and I actually sent you a telepathic message that I really, 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 really want to have a conversation with you about what that means for me, and or at least have you, point me as to where I can do some research for myself as to what it means. And um, that would be so cool, of course, if we were able to do it and share it. I've said this before, and I hope there are folks contacting you. Andrew uh, administrates the Oracle Report Facebook group, and is a great assistance to Laura Walker of oraclereport.com. And I highly recommend that you check all of that out. And at oraclereport.com, you can have Andrew run charts for you. I'm up for it. Okay, good. You just let me know when, and I will make that happen on my schedule. Okay, so apparently I needed to show myself the bottom of the deck, which is, again, something I don't normally do. So I'm going to take this card as well, the feline. And it's kind of interesting because there's been a lot in my field, again, partially due to what I experienced with Elena. I believe it's tied to that, but I'm not certain of that. There's a lot of things that seem to be coming up in my field, not just to be examined, but to be acknowledged and to wave goodbye to. And I think that too is part of what is active in my field, Andrew, with the Black Moon Lilith. I'm one of those Eris pointers, is what Laura Walker refers to, an Eris pointer. At least that's what she told me during our conversation that one time on Conscious Conversation Central. And so I'd love to know exactly what that means. Surrender to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs and remember that no is a complete sentence. I really would like to say that I thought I had learned this, but maybe I haven't. Otherwise, I don't think it would be coming back. Oh boy, I cannot wait to read that BM. It flashed up on my screen and I only got to see the first part of it, Andrew. So I'm really anxious to hear what you have to say. Okay, so one more card and then we'll dive in here. Part of the reason I knew that I had to take this feline card is that I've been dealing with some, looking at, not dealing with necessarily, well, I guess kind of dealing with too, some health issues that are coming up for me yet and again. Things that I would like to have thought I had handled, but no, apparently not completely. So there's that. Let's see what the hero's journey dream oracle has to say here. Have a jumper on this one, please. So from the Journey of Love deck, the Heart of the Moment came out, and I thought it was the card we had the other day, but it's not. It's a new card, and the call just came out from the Hero's Journey. Honor the whisper of your soul. That's good advice. I don't care who you are. This deck also wanted to come into play. So I've been putting it out there that I'm ready for conscious conversations. And I also put a video out from a Facebook post that I came across about birth. It was written upon the heart of a midwife. It's about 8 minutes long. If you have a minute and you haven't seen it, I highly encourage you to take a look at it. Oh, this one, huh? Because it's right on top. Become a shapeshifter. I'll have to see what that has to say. And also, time to reflect. And I have received one person response to that so far, that it would like to come and have a conversation. The truth of the matter is, while this writing that so touched me, I was nudged to record and share, it applies not only to the birthing process. And I was very clear at the end of that video. So this is not open just to females who have had birth, who have participated in birth, or your Eris point energy is because your Earth is at 22 degrees Aries, nearly conjunct with the Eris point of 21 Aries. Well, thank you for that. I don't quite understand what the Eris point means. That's part of what I would love for us to have a conversation about, that we share, out there. But back to this video, the thing of it is for me, almost every system on this planet, a lot of people think they're broken and they need to be fixed. They are not broken. I want to be very clear. They are operating exactly in the manner in which they were designed to work. Be very clear about that. They were designed specifically to entrap, enslave, capture your energy, and you keep your energy from you. It is time to see that and realize that every one of those systems have to be scrapped. That's one of the reasons why I love what's going on at this moment with the politics, to be honest with you. It's time for all of us, and I know it's going to take little bits and pieces for some consciousness, because it can damage the psyche if folks are just have it shoved down their throat right away. I get that now, finally. But I want to be very clear. The invitation to come and have conscious conversation with me is in regards to all of these sorts of things. Because there's nothing on this planet that is as it seems. Not one thing we have ever heard or been told or think we know on any sort of level is exactly what we think it is. Not by a long shot. And to think that it just needs to be fixed and get the bad guys out and put some good guys in charge. No, nuh-uh. That's not at all the way it is. And I understand what you're saying there, bits and pieces of asteroids. So let's get into the reading here. Who wants to be first? Apparently the call, which makes sense because for me, one of the very first conversations that Lisa and I had on Conscious Conversation Central was, is this the clarion call? And I would say, and that was all the way back in 2017, 2018. And I would say, yes, that was, at least for me, it was the call. Now, it was for me, and it may not have been for a lot of folks then. Honor the whisper of your soul, but I really do feel like another call has gone out. It's as though some got the call a little early, because as these things come to the fore, and they're coming, and they're going to come in a big way. And even those of us who think we know something are going to be surprised to find just how little we actually do know. So there's a quote here from Anais Nin, I suppose. And the day came when the wish to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. What is your true calling in life? What special gifts have you been given? What is the unique niche that only you can inhabit? What situations bring out your bliss? What do you typically get complimented on and shrug off because it comes so naturally? These important questions can help you recognize what Aristotle called, and okay, I'm going to mess this word up. I just know I am. Intellectually. It's Entelecchy. The great one-of-a-kind potential you've been encoded with. And see, I maintain that by moving towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself, apparently will show you this, what it is that you've come here to emanate into the field. All the reasons why you can't, or you, all of that is BS that we tell ourselves, in my view, anyway. And so I have to agree with Aristotle. Intellecty or intellecty, whatever this is when the soul is actualized in the body. And that's, I really truly believe that's a true statement. Dreams are important because they speak the language of the soul. They are a compass always pointing you in the right direction, helping correct your course when needed, and letting you know, sometimes loudly, when you've fallen asleep and need to wake up. Wow, could that be any? Okay, Miss Vanessa, I'm so glad you were able to join us for at least a little while. Hope you'll tune back in to get the rest of it. So could that have been any more clear? I really do feel like for me, and it's kind of interesting that it come up here this morning because, you know, even I think that I'm awake, and I know that I'm only partially so. I'm only on the path to awakening. Let's put it that way. So there's a dream symbol here of hearing your name, which I have actually, not in a dream even. I've heard my name in a darkened room, and there be nobody there, but I've heard my name called. Hearing your name in a dream suggests your intellecty and or higher self is trying to get your attention. You are being called to wake up to the next step along your path. If you've been straying, this dream may be your wiser self's attempt to wrangle you in. And there's a mantra here: I wake up and everything I do moves me toward the fulfillment of my greatest dreams. And if you are allowing yourself to move towards that which brings you the greatest joy, the highest joy in each moment that presents itself, you can't help but find out what it is your purpose is. And quite frankly, having conscious conversations is my highest joy. And so I'm very clear about that for me. So let's see who wants to go next. I think these two right here that came out from the Messenger Oracle. Time to reflect. Time to reflect. Because in truth, this even the even the graphic on this card, right, is all about the larger self, I think. Have you been rushing along, living from one moment to the next without thought or care? Have you failed to notice and acknowledge all that you have achieved and accomplished? Stop. Take a moment to pause and reflect upon all that has happened and all that is happening. See how you have grown. Well, that's a I know, because yeah, I spent some time in meditation this morning asking to be shown some things because I've been very disappointed with myself. And I'll take this right here as part of the answer. Acknowledge and delight. See all you have succeeded in accomplishing. Acknowledge and delight in your journey and understand how it is played a part in creating the you that lives in the present. Well, isn't that a true statement? I mean, you know, the truth of the matter is every single thing that we do, or at least this is the thing I've come to, even if I want to call it a mistake or a tragedy or whatever, has gone into shape the who and what I am. It all serves. I don't think we actually make mistakes. Well, we might label it like that in the moment because it brought us pain or whatever, right? Or is bringing us pain if we're right in the middle of something. Become a shapeshifter. The kitsune is a shapeshifter, a mythical fox that can take on human form. At this time, a shapeshifter is what you need to become. All too often, we restrict and limit ourselves. Oh, surrender to setting limits. We limit ourselves by embracing rigid labels, definitions, and ideas of who we are and who we are meant to be. From one moment to the next, you are always the person you are meant to be. But if you open yourself to growth, you can become more like the kitsune. The more tails you have, the more powerful and wise you become. Huh. Well, that's really interesting on a lot of levels. There's been many iterations of me, and I know that. And I was just thinking about that this morning. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so the Divine Animal Oracle wants to go next, and that card is card 39, the Peacock. And there's a key word there, prosperity. One of the things about the peacock energy for me, and it's not, they don't talk about it in this card or in this particular book, but the peacock is said to, the reason it has the beautiful tail is that it can ingest poison and transmute that. There's a big symbology there about how we as beings take things in and transmute them and become beautiful beings. There's a lot there for me about that. The So the key word here for peacock is prosperity. Prosperity is coming to you. A flow of abundance is on its way. Okay, that's very interesting too, because I spent a lot of time yesterday watching I think it's the latest conversation between Joe Rogan and Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson is founding or has founded a group called ARC that's meant to replace, in a good way, the World Economic Forum. And he's been talking to energy CEOs. And what he has to say about that, about making it so that abundance is readily available to everyone, regardless of their ability to pay, rises all boats. So a very interesting conversation. If you've not seen it, I highly recommend. It's 3 hours and 11 minutes, but I got to be honest with you, it is very well spent, in my opinion. Not just my opinion. I happen to feel that although he claims that he doesn't make any metaphysical claims to what he looks at, I say otherwise. And because I can feel the metaphysicality all over every single thing I've heard come out of Jordan Peterson's mouth. So to be honest with you, there's no way. Things are multidimensional, and they're meant to be that way, so that because not everybody is a translator for everybody, but there are translators for everyone. The energy industry can't stand the idea of free energy. Well, I don't know. It sounds to me like it's coming in in many different ways. If it's not coming through what has been kept hidden, then it might come in a different form, a different way. I don't know. I liked what I heard. So prosperity is coming to you. A flow of abundance is on its way. Expect a new income stream. Well, that would be lovely. Yeah, unfortunately, $1,500 a month to live on is not very much, and kind of limits what a person can actually experience, to be honest with you. I would love to be able to experience some things that I just can't, which is another reason why when I offered things, it's not on any kind of ability to pay or not, because I do at least have that $1,500 a month, and I don't want anybody to not be able to, especially if they're on a quest to find themselves, because all I'm doing is providing things that are freely available on the internet that somebody could just get very easily. And buying a lottery ticket tonight. Well, I don't blame you there. Maybe you ought to. So it says, clear the energy in your home or office. Do not be afraid of success. You can rise from difficult circumstances. The mythos. The Indian peafowl is India's national bird and features in many stories within the Hindu pantheon. According to Hindu beliefs, the peacock was created from one of the feathers of the mythological bird, the Garuda. The god Shiva rides a peacock into battle. Krishna wears a peacock feather in his headband, and Indra sheltered from his enemies under the wing of a great peacock and rewarded it by creating 1,000 eyes upon its feathers, so it would not have to worry about snakes ever again. It is the belief that peacock feathers bring prosperity to a house that links it with the benevolent Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the Hindu goddess of wealth, light, and general prosperity. Beautiful, long-haired, golden-skinned, and dressed in red, she is commonly depicted surrounded by two royal elephants showering her with a flow of abundant water, along with a river of gold coins pouring from her hands. She is sitting on a lotus, a flower that symbolizes an arising from difficult circumstances. Lakshmi is sometimes pictured with her son, the god Ganesha, who is the god of removing and replacing obstacles, which is very interesting because I did see the bottom of that deck as well, and I didn't take it, but it was the Ganesha card. Let me just show you very quickly here. All I got to do is show it to you just like that. Oh my goodness. My goodness. So her expression is invariably calm, graceful, and benevolent, which is sometimes the opposite of how we feel around money and our own finances. If you keep peacock feathers in your home, a flow of wealth will come to it, blessed by Lakshmi herself. This is especially important at Diwali, her biggest festival, which is also called the Festival of Lights. Oil lamps and candles are lit in every home, particularly inside and outside every shop and business. These lights are not only to honor the goddess, but also to draw her to the place for her blessing of prosperity. The feathers are also said to keep flies and other bad insects from the home and to invite in vibrant health. The animal. Peacocks are endemic to India and Sri Lanka and other countries in South Asia. They are an introduced species widely across the world. The females, or peahens, are smaller than the males and are a brown color. The males, the peacocks, have spectacular coloring and the famous many-eyed fan-shaped tail. Although there is some debate about the evolutionary function of the tail, it has been suggested that it indicates a male is vital and healthy and a good mate. When we see a peacock in a park or zoo, we may not understand what a heavy burden this tail is. But if you get a chance to see a wild peacock, you understand that dragging such a weight around has to make the peacock more susceptible to predators and more ungainly in flight. The tail gets caught in the brush, and it is conspicuous. Peacocks have a loud call and can be heard over long distances. Males have a sharp spur on the back of their legs, on the back of their lower legs, that they use to battle each other over a female or territory. It is such a beautiful bird, but it is also a tough one, which may be partly why the other symbology that I had heard from Lisa Risenberry in regards to the peacock. The magic. Peacock magic is shimmering and rich. It is the energy you call upon when you need more abundance in all areas of your life. Like the goddess Lakshmi, the peacock represents beauty and pure light. So when you need to clear your space, call upon this iridescent power. The symbology: eyes, tail feathers, Shiva riding a battle peacock, peacock feather over the third eye. The status is of least concern for the animal. So for me, and I want to go back to the other thing, the one that talked about because I meant to say it when we were talking about this. If you are looking for your purpose and you would like to, I do the something called The Invisible Garment. It is by Connie Kaplan, and if that is something that you would like to receive from me, reach out to me, consciousconversationcentral@gmail.com. Include your birth time, date, and place, and I will send it to you. And there, again, I don't charge for those things. If you want, you could, you're more than welcome to give me a love offering of some sort, which at this point will go to Crystal because of her surgery that she's going to be going. All love offerings that I receive will go to Crystal right now. Because on May 19th, our Crystal will be having another spinal surgery, and she will be out of work. She's a single mom, and so she won't be able to do her job, and so we're raising money for Crystal. So the heart of the moment is this card, and this looks so very much to me. There's a lot of multidimensionality right here, but also I not only see a bunch of beings coming out of this, but it's almost like a mouth. You see the nose above, and then there's these beings coming out of there. This is a very interesting looking card to me. You are entering a time in your life where past and future are colliding. That could explain some of the physical situation I find myself in. That's very interesting. In this present moment, you have a powerful opportunity to decide how you wish to continue in a certain pattern of relating or not. This may mean leaving a relationship or starting a new one. But even if you cannot yet make that decision with peace in your heart, you can still partake of the heart of this moment and decide how you shall choose to be. That's very interesting because that is something that's been coming up for me. Will you speak? Will you choose to let go of shame and criticism, of judgment and anxiety, of loss and despair, and just be with your own heart now? Will you choose in this moment to trust yourself, even if that trust says you have to wait a while longer before you can make a more long-term decision? This is a time when you can alter your future, stepping into relationship with another, with the divine, with yourself in a new way. Even the smallest choice for love is a step in the right direction. You have the heart of the divine within you. It's not too hard for you to choose love. Let go of the people who want you to choose jealousy or fear or doubt. Their games are not nearly as fun. Well, that's true, isn't it? Choose love, and who knows, maybe they'll join your party instead. This oracle brings you a message. You are in a transition zone in your life and relationships. It is one moment that will manifest as many opportunities where one choice will open up many pathways to fulfillment for you. We always have the chance to create our future with our present choices. But at this time, you are in an especially fertile karmic period, having just come out of a cycle of learning and about to enter into a new cycle. This is the time to be willing to take a chance or a risk to be happy within yourself, no matter what is going on around you. Your life is about to take a karmic turn, and you can feel peace in that knowing. I've known that about myself for a hot minute now. Wind of change again, huh? That's very interesting. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. Oh no, you're going in for a knee replacement. So, love provides the opportunity to express the core essence of our very nature. It touches us at a level of feeling beyond the human norm and renders our beings incapable of a feeling with greater depth or wonder. Love is the fabric of life. It is the substance that holds it all together and the magic that opens the unknown. It is the quality that speaks to our soul, that opens our heart, that excites our spirit and allows us in its presence to become something greater than ourselves, something more than we are alone. Wow. Not quite sure what all to take from all of this, but I know that there's a huge transition that's happening within me. So now we have the pooch, card number 60. 6 is all about balance, love, harmony. Ah, very interesting too, because the key words for the pooch here are shape changer. Good in the bad, bad in good, paradox, resolution. The Pook is a shape changer. He appears in whatever guise he thinks will be most confusing to you, depending on his purpose, Brian wrote. He weaves spells to bemuse our senses and confuse our judgment. He is a master of the arts of illusion and delusion, holding up a distorting mirror to reveal the bad in the good and the good in the bad. The Pook also wishes, which is another reason why I keep being shown that no matter what I want to label something in the moment that it's going on, that it all serves. And I actually don't make mistakes. I can label it that if I really feel I must. But beating myself up over a decision because I think it's a mistake is ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. The Pook also wishes to show us the bad in what we think to be good and vice versa. This may confuse us further, or it may help us to gain a more balanced understanding of how things really are. Okay, I'm looking forward to it, Andrew. He is very against rigid mindsets and, in his own way, encourages the development of inquiring minds. And I could not agree more, man. Making sure that you got an open mind and even in something that I think I know, I keep constantly being shown that you might have a little piece of it right there, but you ain't got the whole piece. So I wouldn't be thinking that that's the be all end all in any way, shape, or form. Got to keep that open mind so that because there's so much more to everything than what we've been shown or told or understand or think we know or any of that. His true face, I'm not certain that a shape changer even has a true face, though he did hold still long enough for Brian to paint him. However, the Pook is very proud of the faces he assumes. With them, he offers us contradictions and paradoxes, and finds it all too easy to confuse our judgment because we are often not thinking very clearly anyway. I know that's true for me. Sometimes we even hold two or more contradictory beliefs in boxes in our minds, and that's so true. And yet, so often we refuse to see that. Well, if you believe this over here to be true, then this over here's got to be true too. Oh, no. No. If one is true, we think when we finally consider them, then the other must be false. Not so. Perhaps both are false. Perhaps both are only partly true and partly false. We tend to cling desperately to our beliefs, even when they make no sense to others or are counter to our own actual experience. I think that's a true statement too. Our paradoxes and confusions are self-created, and the pook need only dress them up a bit, add a little sparkle and dangle them before us in order to induce confusion. In that confusion, we are likely to believe almost anything someone presents to us just to feel as if we have a metaphorical anchor in reality. I think we all better get real comfy with there not being any anchor in any kind of reality. That's what I really am being shown that in a very big way. His challenge for us is to wake up, to stop projecting our confusions on reality. Once we have seen the truth, seeming contradictions and paradoxes melt away in the manner of realizing the solution to a Zen koan, like what is the sound of one hand clapping. When we get the answer, usually by a burst of insight cutting through the confusion and paradoxes, it always seems so simple, and we wonder how we could have been in such a tizzy about so simple a thing. We wonder why everyone doesn't understand this so very obvious thing. It is time for the resolution of seeming contradictions and paradoxes in this situation. Someone or some part of the situation is cloaked in confusion, and our muddled thoughts must be stripped away, revealing truth. We just need to think about it. The information we needed is now available to us, and as soon as we have that burst of insight and quote, get it, it's time for us to make changes based on our newly clear understanding. Alternatively, it may be time for us to make a reality check on the good, bad labels we put on things. Make a list of the quote, good, possibly even surprising things about this situation, and another list about the bad ones. If you are not in the habit of seeing the good in the bad and the bad in the good, having preferred a black and white world rather than the one with color, you may need some help in learning to do this well. Well, and see, that's the thing for me. I really feel as though it's getting ready to be shown in such a huge way. And it's going to be very shocking to many, including my own self. I'll be honest with you. Oh, the feline wanted to be talked about too. He's card number 65. That's numerologically an 11. The key words for the feline are getting it right, delayed completions, and tidying up loose ends. Brian notes that this is the accusing, offended expression we see on the cat's face, saying, you know, I have my dinner at 5 o'clock. Brian adds that the feline is also known as a slight accusation or an accusation of slight. One of my cats, that Maggie, is the felion's first cousin and has mastered the family expression. She uses it for all sorts of things, but I have often seen it elsewhere as well. I may even have used it myself once or twice. We know the feline is near, nodding his head when we hear remarks like, "I thought you'd have my shirt ironed for me. You said you'd get the brakes fixed," or "You mean that report isn't done yet?" The feline speaks to us when we know we deserve it, but are pretending we don't. His is the voice that whispers in our ears just as we try to settle down with a good book, a new computer game, or our favorite leisure activity. And we experience that old familiar guilty feeling. Alcohol only drowns him out temporarily and gives people hangovers as well. So it's not a useful remedy, although it is widely used. In fact, that particular avoidance tactic usually causes the feline to raise his voice even louder the next morning in a particularly piercing tone. He makes lists of things we haven't done, shaking his head over them and muttering, "Tisk, tisk." These are the things we could and should have taken care of by now, but haven't. Wow, this is really, really, really showing me myself in a really huge way. This is his job, and he does it well. Sometimes, though, he just wishes we would do our jobs so that he could go play first one over the hill gets to kiss the fairy maid, or munch chocolate-covered thistles with his friends, or take naps. The feline looks out of his card accusingly, reminding us of things undone, promises unkept, and duties unfulfilled. He says that we can't expect to have things go right when we are trailing around so much unfinished business behind us. Dragging that stuff around tires us. It uses up energy that we need for other things. If we would just take care of these things that cause so much mental and sometimes physical clutter, we would suddenly find that we have a lot more energy at our disposal to do these things and others as well. He especially suggests that we take care of the little things that matter to others. We will feel so much better when we have done that, and so will he. Actually, that feels like speaking to my procrastination about a few things. Okay, so the final card, Land, Mountain, Sun. It's a beautiful card. This is from the Alchemy Elementals deck. Land, Mountain, Sun on page 80. Your aspirations and accomplishments are a gift to your tribe. As you achieve and then expand your vision to align with what you want to achieve next, and then achieve again, and so on and so forth, you are not just living giant, you are giving others permission to achieve this way too, and to expand their reality constructs as you do. Your evolution inspires their evolution, but you can only achieve greater and greater things when you are 100% authentic and you remain true to your vision. You must be in total alignment with your own unique mission to be able to access the doorway that leads to these ever-expanding triumphs. You are being asked to step into your purpose and to allow it to take you to great heights. Do not compromise the integrity of your vision. Stay true to yourself every step of the way and allow those steps to lead you to peaks of possibility you didn't know were possible. Well, you know what? I always have felt like that. And even back when I was still in the corporate world, I didn't play the corporate games that other middle managers would play in order to climb the corporate ladder. And as a result, I never went much of anywhere in these places because I wasn't going to play any games. And I refuse to do that now. I will not say that I know something when I absolutely do not. And so there's that. And the truth of the matter for me is that I really do see it very clearly. The Jeshua channelings, which if you haven't seen that, freely available here on the channel, just go to the playlist and look for the Jeshua channelings by Pamela Crabbe. Speak to this, that a lot of light workers think they're here to help everybody else transform, when in fact that is not the case. We are here to transform ourselves and ourselves only. And that actually will help everybody else transform, because once we do that for ourselves, whatever we do, it makes it that much easier for anybody else to do as well. So, and we are all so varied and different that there's really no way, that the way forward for me is not going to be the same for you. That's why I always say your individual mileage will absolutely vary. So I guess that's it for me. I hope you found something in this reading. I always feel like if you were compelled to come here and listen in, you probably did find something for you. And I know there was a lot in here for me. So be sure to look for some conscious conversations that are coming. Finally, we'll be getting to some. And I actually heard from Lisa on Friday during our book club that she is starting to feel like it's a little closer to her coming to chat with us about everything that she's been moving through. And so hopefully Conscious Conversations will return very shortly. And that is where I just love to hear. And so I put that out there again. If you want to come and have conversations about consciousness, bring in topics that you want to talk about, and you want to, just throw out there to the general atmosphere and see what turns up, reach out to me at consciousconversationscentral@gmail.com. And let's get together and chat, the other reason that I always feel like those conversations are so important is that the art of conversation has been lost. It would seem, at least it's the way it appears to me, that folks are not sure how to have conversations anymore. Like if you don't agree with whatever's being said, then you're not worth having a conversation with. Oh, wow. I'm glad not everybody feels that way. Whatever happened to we can agree to disagree on things? You know what I mean? So if you're interested in doing that, I keep my mind completely open, and I kind of feel like that's the only way forward for all of us. So until we meet again, I hope that you will move towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself to you. It really is just a perspective. And your perception of that perspective in that moment. And if it doesn't feel very joyous, maybe backing up for a second, looking at it from a different way, and you'll find a different way to approach anything that, will be more joyous. Until then, be well, my friends.